Hey folks, Bob here. We'll do a little walk around on Furious. I get a lot of people ask me questions about the car. A lot of people asking, does it still have the lean burn on it? And some guy asked me, did it have a posi in it? And I don't know. I get all kind of crazy stuff. One guy was asking me, was it front wheel drive? Another guy asking me, is it a 4 barrel? So there's a lot of folks out there think this is just some old street car that I'm playing with. I'm going to show you that it is not. It's got a lot of cool parts on it. It is a real race car. So we're going to start from the front of the car and work our way back. It's got a fiberglass bumper that I custom made on the front here. It has a lot of Swiss cheesing in the car, all through the front here. Fenders, firewall. All of that was done by design. There's a lot of open area. The grill is massive on this car. The front of the car blocks a lot of air, as you can see. This front of this car is almost 5 foot wide. A lot of open area. The fender wells have been taken out of the car. So she collects a lot of air going down the track, which is one reason why I left these open areas, to get some of the air off the not build up on the firewall and escape through those vents. Can't tell that's helped yet. I don't know. It does appear to be a little bit more stable than it was. This car was a handful at one time. It has stabilized somewhat. Got a Champion aluminum radiator, which I like. Got an electric fan. Pulls quite a bit of air. It's a push around the puller, but I got it set up for pulling right now. It's got a electric water pump drive that I can run the water pump into fans separately. It's got aluminum water pump housing, and as you can see, and it has a recurved stock Chrysler distributor. It's all in at 2,000 RPM. Has an MSD coil. Has a Proform 850 double pumper carburetor. Got 2 fuel pumps on it. 2 accelerator pumps on it, I should say. It's got a 1/2 inch spacer, and it's got a heat plate. We're going to probably put a different spacer on it. That's just what we're running for right now. I want to get a baseline. It has a fuel pressure regulator on it, and the fuel pressure, you see the metal line going down the bottom, that goes all the way to the back to the fuel cell, to the Holly fuel pump, I should say. It's got a stock oil pump on it. That was kind of just one of them things. It does have headers on it, and it's got a deep 8-quart oil pan on it. The transmission is a 727 Mopar that has a shift kit and a manual valve body in it. It also has an SFI flex plate on it. B&M SFI flex plate. Has a deep transmission pan that holds, I believe, an extra 2 quarts of tranny fluid. As we continue to work our way down, it's got lightweight weld aluminum wheels on it. It's got a fiberglass hood. This hood was $650. There's only been 2 of them made. 6-pack bolt-on scoop. Work our way on back a little bit further here. Inside the car, we got Lexan windows on the side. More Swiss cheesing in the door. It has a roll cage in it with a back brace. Nice roll cage. MSD ignition with a limiter, with a rev limiter, with the peels. I got a collection of peels I can change. B&M shifter, ratchet shifter. It has the standard fire extinguisher. Has a sheet metal dash in it. I've got lights to turn the dome light switch on, and switches. I got switches for the trans cooler. I got switches for the water pump, the radiator fan, the fuel pump, the ignition, and I have oil pressure gauge, water temperature gauge, and volt gauge. Has a memory tack, or I'm sorry, playback tack. And we work our way back even further. Up underneath the car, like I said, it's got headers, but also put a pair of pipes on it to kind of get that sound out from underneath the driver's feet, my feet, you could say. It's got 2 drive shaft safety loops on it. And there's a reason for that. We won't get into all that right now. It has a 8 3/4 rear end in it. As you can see. And it has 10-inch slicks, 10-inch wheel, 10-inch slicks, 29 inches high. 8 3/4 Ren, has a 410 gear with a spool in it. Okay, 410 gear with a spool, not a posi, not a sure grip. 410 gear with a spool. It also has, I should have showed you this when I was in here, polyurethane bushings in the rear suspension. I don't know if you can see. The front K-frame has polyurethane bushings in it as well. Okay, the back of the car, where the back seat would be, that is all sheet metal. That is not cardboard, it is sheet metal. What you're looking at right there is sheet metal all the way down to the floor of the car. The trunk floor is sheet metal. It's got dual batteries in it, and there's a reason for that. We're still working that out. Not sure we're going to leave that like that. We may change that. It's got a fuel cell. At the back of the car, there is a fiberglass bumper in the back. Master cutoff switch with battery lugs, all that works correctly. And I don't know if I mentioned the lightweight aluminum wheels that match the front. The trunk of the car has been Swiss cheesed and gutted. You see all that? Everybody said, don't do that in the back of the car, you're hurting, you're taking weight off the car. It did not hurt it a bit. This car is so well balanced, you would be surprised. The inner structure of the trunk's been cut out. This car, we scaled it last night at the track. It's 3,138 pounds. 3,138 pounds. So there you have it, folks. This is a real race car. It's not a Cordoba that somebody put a cam in it instead of headers and nothing crazy like that. This is the real deal race car. We're developing the car as we go. And it continues to get faster and faster and faster. So we're pretty pleased with it. It's been an enormous amount of work, but we're getting there. We just signed a 3-year deal with this guy here. He increased his sponsorship, and he also did it for 3 years. Part of that deal is going to be a new paint scheme. We'll get into that later. So we got to sand all this paint off, and we've already started doing some of the work around here. So we'll unveil all that later. So there you have it, folks. It is indeed a real race car. It's not a street car. Hope you guys enjoyed that little quick tour.